Hello everybody, Rebel RX is back online and you're watching Rebel RX. Welcome back. It had to start with this soundtrack, really? But welcome back to Doki Doki Fallen Angel. I know, I've had a lot of variety, this, that, and whatnot, instead of just one thing going out on the channel as of lately. But Fallen Angel is a series that we will see through to the end. As I'm doing it on my phone, I forget about it at times. So anyway, yeah, so in the last one, if I remember correctly, we had something went wrong between the player and Yuri. And then later on we get a call to the hospital telling us that Sayori has finally awoken from her coma. And so in the last one we had just got to the hospital, and now this is where we are starting off in this episode to visit Sayori. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I arrived to the hospital. These cold hallways do nothing to warm me up from the freezing rain. I begin to walk towards the secretary desk. Halfway to it, the hospital doors fly open. A brown-haired man wearing a regular shirt and jeans comes barreling through. He has a worried expression. He cuts past me into the secretary desk. She points the way to a doctor. He rushes to the doctor down the hall. The doctor, with a sour face, points to a room. The man finally rushes into the room. I'm at a loss. Alrighty then. I finished my trek to the secretary desk. May I help you? I'm looking for Sayori. She begins to scroll through her computer. Your name? Rebel. Perfect. Miss Sayori is in room 309. She points behind me. Just take those elevators to the 3rd floor and follow the hallway. Thank you. I practically run from the desk to the elevators as if it were a race. Man's in a hurry to see Sayori. 3rd floor. Why does every part of a hospital look the exact same? There's a line of doors before me. As I walk past them, I take note of the numbers. 307, 308, 309. I lightly knock on the door. There's no response. My hand presses down on the handle. I gently open the door. I walk into the hospital room. Somehow it's even colder than the hallway. My eyes pan through the blank walls. I spot Sayori laying on the bed. Sayori. Ah! I cross the room in a flash and embrace Sayori. I was so worried about you, Sayori. I'm so sorry, Sayori. Rebel, is that really you? I could ask you the same thing. If I couldn't feel her soft skin in my hands, I wouldn't believe it was actually her. I stifle my sobs and collect myself. I stand over her bed. I'm so sorry, Rebel. No, this is my fault, Sayori. I should have done more to be there for you, Sayori. I was so caught up in my own feelings I never thought about you. I was selfish. Sayori just smiles sadly. You're silly, Rebel. Huh? That was not the reaction I was expecting. I was the selfish one. I did the most selfish thing possible. I didn't think of anyone else in that moment. Her eyes are red from tears. I watch as they glide down her cheek and crash onto the plain white sheets of the bed. I'm just glad you're awake. Oh, I now remember I got bloody emotional when I got to this part of the last one. Hearing Sayori was finally awake. Like, you could hear it in my voice too. Like, no, that was not acting or nothing. That was genuine feelings. You're actually awake. I repeat myself just to confirm this is actually real. I was so scared. I really can't put into words how concerned I was. I'm sorry I made you sad. I waved my hand dismissively. Enough with the apologies. Let's agree to just both be sorry. The corners of her mouth raised. Okay. So, how is everyone? Good. I nod reassuringly. Everyone's good. Natsuki's holding down the fort for you. That's nice of her. And you and Yuri? Yeah. I still haven't apologized to her. We're fine. I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm just really glad you're awake. I was losing sleep over you. Meanwhile, I was gaining sleep. Protect the cinnamon bun, lads! If I could say Yuri could still keep her aloof attitude, I find somewhat admirable. Knowing she's okay does put a smile on my face. I just want things back to normal, Sayori. He stares out the window. Do you know what it's like, being in a coma, Rebel? Can't say I do. It's kind of like you're sleeping. Time passes by differently when you're asleep. When I woke up, I was worried I was 50 years in the future and everyone would be old and wrinkly. It was also scary. There were times when I was aware of my surroundings. Aware? I could sense things, if that makes sense. It doesn't. Sometimes I could feel the nurse changing out my IV, or I could hear the doctor having a conversation outside. One time I heard the doctor discussing with my parents on the phone about something called the patient's right to die. Whether or not it's ethnically okay to put me asleep. My heart drops into my stomach, just hearing those words causing my legs to grow weak. It was like I was watching a movie of my own death. The scariest part was that I couldn't use my legs to run away. I didn't have a voice I could use to call for help, or talk to myself to keep myself company. It gets lonely. You see your fears come to life. I'm glad I'm not afraid of the dark. She gives a small giggle before returning to a serious tone, or as serious as someone like Sayori can sound. It's hard to escape your inner demons when you're encaged in your own mind. I'm so sorry you had to go through that, Sayori. I placed my hand on hers. It was an interesting experience, to say the least. Who knew you could learn so much while being asleep? I'll make sure to tell my teachers that. I get that one because MC likes to sleep at class. That sound gives me a nostalgic feel of our childhood, back when Sayori and I would play around the block. Climb trees, cause mischief. I refuse to believe that girl is gone. But as I look into her eyes, I see despair. Will it be better to go back and change what happened? Don't dwell on the past. She says that as if she read my mind. Like I said, I learned something while asleep. This experience showed me what I have become. The solution I took to try and stop the pain. And then I almost lost the most important thing to me. My eyes have been opened to something newer, something greater. What's the word for that? An epiphany? Is that the right word? Yuri would probably know. I don't know if I'll ever beat my depression, but I do know I won't let it beat me. It'll be a lifelong battle. I'm willing to stay by your side through it all. I think I like that. I'm starting to get emotional again. Dang it, Sayori! A smile that fills this bland white room with hope, purity, and warmth. Everyone is going to be really happy to see you back. I'm sure. You know, for a second I was expecting both you and Monika to be here. Monika? Why would we be together? Ah. I see. When I woke up, I actually spoke to her. She said you and her would visit me. Sayori, I think the anesthesia is still affecting your brain. How would Monika get a hold of me? She has your number. She what? Monika has my number? I gave it to her when you joined the club. Hold up. You hear the track change all of a sudden? And there's been those mysterious calls too. It has to be Monika. It's only obvious the club president should be able to contact her members. My mind is having a hard time keeping up with his own thoughts. Pieces of the puzzle slowly start to take form. Yeah, Bill, are you alright? You look like you've seen a ghost. Sayori, where's Monika? I believe she said she'd be stopping by around... How convenient, she should be coming any second. I need to go to the bathroom. Do you mind? Not at all. I turn on my heel and power walk out the room. I run down the corridor. I don't look where I'm going. Suddenly I find myself falling. Oof! My head starts to throb. The cold tiles press against my face. I collect my bearings and look to see who I ran into. Oh, of course, as Sayori said, how convenient. Hi, Rebel! You know, you should really be more careful. Even if we're in a hospital, it's best not to hurt yourself. Cut the banter, Monika. I know what you've been doing. This ends now. Why are you trying to mess up my life? What do you mean, Rebel? You think I'm dense? I figured out your little game. All those strange texts, they're from you. Well, it took you long enough to figure that out. What's wrong with you? You find enjoyment in ruining other people's lives? I could ask you the same thing. None of this would have happened if it weren't for her. I had a feeling it was Monika the whole time, and now she just admits it. And now we figure out her. What are you talking about now? You and your little girlfriend. You think you can intrude on my life? We didn't intrude on anything. What? Did we ruin your perfect life? Yes. I'm stunned by her straightforward answer. You did. Everything was perfect. My family was loving. My grades were second to none. Everyone loved me. I had friends. I had a club I was proud of. The only thing missing was someone to share it with. And then you came along. And finally I had someone to share my life with. But you didn't choose me. Monika's voice grows louder with every sentence. You didn't choose me. Why, Rebel? You could have had something perfect, but instead you chose a broken girl. You better shut your damn mouth, Monika. You can't do anything now. I tried to warn you. I tried showing you her true side, but you were too oblivious. Why couldn't you have loved me instead? Hospital staff and even some patients have been silently witnessing our quarrel. My life could have been perfect. Why didn't you choose me? Maybe you're not as perfect as you think. Oh! I recognize that look in her eyes. The same look Sayori showed when she confessed about her depression. The same one Nat showed when she spoke of her father. Even the same look Yuri had when she told me about her cutting. They all share that same look in their eyes. A look of fear. Fear of being lost in an unforgiving world. I didn't want any of this, Monika. I just wanted a normal life. That's not what was given to me. Just like you, I had dreams of a perfect life. But this world isn't perfect. You have to learn that eventually. Monika looks heartbroken. Her words come out as a whisper. No. No. I worked too hard for this. I worked too hard to get what I wanted. But in the end, I hurt the ones I love. Love. What a stupid word. You need to accept the past, Monika. Everything you do has consequences. You have to learn to live with them. But you can still change who you are. Why did I say that? Maybe it's the look in Monika's eyes. They all share the same look. Just like Yuri, Monika is a lost girl in a cruel world. I feel a little pity for her. We can forgive you. You don't know what I've done. It'll be okay, Monika. I told everyone. Told everyone what? It was the only way to get her out of the picture. Told everyone what? I have connections with a lot of people in school. I sent a message out to nearly the entire student body. Monika, what was in those messages? I told everyone about Yuri. About her cutting. The sound of nurses walking by, the EKGs beep, and even the storm outside has been drowned by my own silence. I feel like I'm floating in a void, and as I stare into the abyss, it stares back. The same feeling when I was told Sayori was in a coma. This time I'm not crying, I've become numb to pain. Time doesn't heal wounds on the heart. They just fill with scar tissue and the pain lessens. But the pain never truly leaves. Why, Monika? It was the only option I had left. The only way I knew to bring you to me. That is not the way to go about it, Monika. This is why Yuri wanted to drop out. Whenever she goes to school, everyone will know what she's been hiding. Everyone will see her as a girl who cuts herself for pleasure. My mind races and my heart beats out of my chest. I can hear my own blood flowing rapidly throughout my body. My eyes begin to flutter to every single inch of those colorless halls. I whisper to myself, I need to find Yuri. Even after all this, you still can't let her go. Every cell in my body wants to beat her to the ground. I ball my fist. All I need is for my nervous system to send the signal to send my hand flying through the air. If I just stand still. Instead, I use my last reserve of energy to make a break to the hospital doors. My feet carry me as I trudge through the icy rain to Yuri's house. I throw myself against the front door and reach for the knob. Locked. I won't bother knocking. I clumsily lift up the doormat and find the spare key. I pan my eyes frantically through the downstairs of Yuri's house. It's barren. I search everywhere, but there's no signs of Yuri. She had to have left some sort of trace. I begin opening all her drawers and cabinets. Upon opening one drawer, I find something that looks familiar. I take the cylindrical object and it makes a rattling sound as I lift it up. In my hand is a bottle of pills, a full bottle of pills. The pills that Yuri is supposed to take to suppress her urge to cut herself. I read the label. Each bottle contains exactly 60. I rip open the cap and pour the pills onto the table. Scattering, I use my hands to push them into a pile. I begin counting. Yuri hasn't even been taking her med. Or stares down. I crash through the bedroom doors. Immediately, my eyes begin to look around for any signs of Yuri. Yuri's knife collection, we never threw it out. Single empty spot where a blade once laid. Sound of water. Not the melodic orchestra of raindrops on a roof. The running of water of a faucet. I cram my neck towards the sound. It's coming from the bathroom. I reach out and tightly grip the handle. Locked. Charge the door. I run full speed out the door. Yuri! It gives, but it doesn't open. I use my good arm to push myself up. After clicking myself, I replant my feet again. I summon every bit of strength I have. My shoulder crashes into the door one last time. It breaks open. I lay on the floor, my energy sapped. I can no longer move my arm. I fear I've dislocated it. I try to move, but I'm in too much pain. I also notice I'm sweat. No, not sweat, but water. The floor has become covered in water from the faucet. No, what has happened? Oh my goodness. Yuri! What the hell? No. I try to shout this, but my voice barely comes out. No. I sprawl towards the tub. Yuri lays in a red-tinted, water-filled bathtub. Ugh. I hunch over the toilet and throw up. However, my stomach is empty and my abdomen just cramps and tightens. My vision begins to blur as tears fill my eyes. I got tears in mine, too. I watch as they crash and join the scarlet river on the tile floor. To say I can't think properly is an understatement. I lift myself up. There's no pain as the adrenaline courses through my body. Yuri! Yuri? Her fair skin has now turned pure white. Her purple hair, now tinted red from the pool. I lift her arm from out of the water. I show new lines, each going perpendicular to the ones of the past. Her emotionless face stares into nothingness. I just sit on the blood-stained floor and stare at her. Tears continue to flow down my face. The only thing I can do is stare into her lavender eyes. For the first time, they fail to pierce back into mine. Oh my... Act 4. House full of roses. You unlocked a special poem. Would you like to read it? This isn't denial. This isn't real. The pain inside me, the things that I see. This isn't real. I still think maybe there's a chance. Maybe if I take a second glance. This isn't real. My mind is just playing a trick, a reality I chose not to pick. This isn't real. I don't believe it. I can't believe it. I shouldn't believe it. It's just lies. It's not real. What isn't real can't hurt me. So why do I hurt? This isn't real. 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 It can't be real. For the second time today, I find myself in a hospital. We're gonna save that there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be the end of this episode. Oh, my emotions are. Ugh. One like equals a way to save Yuri. Okay, lads, thanks so much for watching this, and thank you for joining me on this journey. Now take care of yourselves, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.